Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and I'm with Anthony, and I'm in Los Angeles, and he's going to take me out to a video game store called...
World 8. It's in Pico Union. It's in downtown LA. Really cool spot.
Sorry. Stay tuned, check out the tour, and check out the pickups.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. I went to Los Angeles. I was only there for like a day and a half, almost 2 days. Flew into LAX, and I was there for a Rainbow Six Siege event, basically compliments of Ubisoft. They flew me out. They put me up in this hotel on Venice Beach. I briefly showed you guys the hotel in the actual video I did on the event, which you can check out. It was a really cool press event, but I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it because, like I said, I already did a video entirely on that. There will be a link there. But I thought I'd show you guys some Venice Beach footage just for the hell of it. I mean, this is a crazy place. Look at all this stuff that's going on. And yes, that is a you can get a medicinal marijuana license there so that you can go in and smoke it. I never did that, but I thought that was amazing that they just sell that right there on the beach. But anyway, so I got together with Anthony, and we decided to drive down to this store. This is a place called World 8. Multiple people recommended if I had any spare time that I should go check out this retro game store, so I decided I would go ahead and do that with Anthony, because he contacted me and said, hey man, I'd love to take you out and we'll check out the store. And I was like, all right. So it was actually a lot of fun. So check out the store. We got Xbox games, PS4 games, a lot of classic stuff, retro consoles, PS1 games, Dreamcast games, a lot of GameCube stuff. A Gotcha Force for the GameCube. I hadn't heard of it, but apparently it's super rare. A lot of long box PS1 stuff there. A lot of the cool stuff. Look at that Mario. That thing's awesome. A lot of N64 games, both boxed and loose. Lots of SNES, lots of NES, boxed Genesis. And behind the counter, like a lot of Retron stuff, but also boxes of new inventory. There's some Sega CD and Master System and stuff down there. A lot of Wii U games, of course, which was nice to see. Various collector's editions and PS3 games, lots of PS3 games. Xbox 360 games. Sorry if I'm doing a lot of whip pans. I always try to avoid other people in these videos, just because not everyone wants to be on camera. DS games, 3DS games, GameCube, Wii, PS3. Like I said, I tried to get more close-ups, but there was a dude just standing right there, and I didn't really feel like making him get out of the way. A lot of special edition stuff and plushies. Big section of sports games on the side. I really like that. They kind of isolate those so they're not littered inside your what you're looking for here. Original Xbox games, a lot of those. PlayStation 2 stuff, a lot of that, which was nice to see, especially the original Xbox stuff. There's Anthony, of course. And a lot of, like I said, plushies and collectible figures. More PS4 games, more collector's editions, and all sorts of cool stuff. Board game iterations like Monopoly with various themes like Zelda. PS Vita games, more 3DS games, of course. Like there's the Register, all sorts of amiibos and stuff. Now over to the left there's like a competitive gaming thing down there, but again there's people playing, so I didn't really want to bother them. But let's go ahead and take a look and find out what Anthony picked up, shall we?
What did Anthony end up getting?
NBA Jam, not really a rare game. Not really a rare game at all. No. But this one, Steel Battalion.
Steel Empire.
Right. Let's start that over again.
It's alright.
Steel Empire. Bam! That one right there.
So that was Anthony's pickups, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you my pickups. Before I do that, though, I want to just say a couple of things, because I want to clear up any possible misconceptions. The whole reason I was in Los Angeles, as I mentioned before, was because of Ubisoft. They contacted me and said, like, hey, we're having this event for Rainbow Six Siege, and we'd like you to attend. And I was like, well, I really can't because I don't live in Los Angeles. And they're like, oh, you know what, we'll fly you out, we will put you up in a hotel, as long as you come and you play the game, you can meet up with other YouTubers and all that kind of fun stuff. And I was like, okay. And so that's why I went. Lucky for me, though, the day of the event was August 21st, I believe, 2015, and my flight actually arrived on August 20th, 2015, at around 10 a.m., essentially giving me an entire day in Los Angeles to do whatever. So when I posted that, I believe on Facebook, Anthony, who you saw earlier, of course, contacted me. He was like, hey, you know, I don't have anything else to do that day. I'm local. I'd be happy to take you to like a game store, go get something to eat, whatever. And I was like, yeah, because otherwise I'm, you know, basically going to sit in my hotel all day, which isn't any fun. So again, thank you to Anthony for that. Now, before I go into the games, just one side story here. So the big thing that I wanted to do wasn't game hunt. It was I wanted to get a Los Angeles style burrito. Now I posted a picture of this burrito I ended up getting from a place I think it was called Paco's. I think that's what it was called. And we went there and I got what I refer to as an LA style burrito. Now it's essentially, you know, a burrito that I would think of as a, you know, meat, cheese, or vegetables inside of a tortilla, but then they cover it in, you know, all sorts of sauces. It's usually pretty big and it's got like guacamole on top. I posted that on my Instagram. Yes, I have an Instagram. If you want to follow me, links in the description. I don't usually self-promote, but whatever, since I brought it up. I really wanted one of those burritos because I had one a few years ago and they're insanely good. But I posted a picture of it and I got a ton of people being like, what the fuck is that? Because they don't think of that as a burrito. I saw that and I said to Anthony, like, is that normal? Like, I told him what I think of as a burrito and he had no idea what I was talking about. So if anyone is from Mexico or of Mexican heritage, can you tell us which one is the regular, correct burrito? Like, I've been to Mexico, but I never had a burrito there, so I don't know. Either way, my point is, guys, if you go to Los Angeles, get a LA-style burrito. They're awesome. But yeah, and thank you to Anthony for doing that. But anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about the games I actually got, or the pickups I got. Now, when I first met up with Anthony, he just handed me a plastic bag with this inside as a gift, which is very nice of him to do. He didn't have to do that, and thankfully I had something for him, otherwise I would have felt like a total douche. But what he handed me here was a Millennium 2000 edition Dreamcast controller. Obviously the Millennium, Sega put out a line of Dreamcast controllers only in Japan that are completely transparent. As you can see, they're green on this one in this case is green, and on the back is also transparent. In North America, we had multicolored controllers that were transparent, but only the front was transparent. The back was not. And another key difference is it has a stamp on it right here that says Millennium 2000, all in white, which is pretty cool. So I didn't actually have one of these, so that was very nice of Anthony to do, and thank you, Anthony. But from the actual game store, World 8, I just picked up a couple of things because I was very limited on space. I didn't even bring a suitcase, you know, I just had my backpack. So I was selective. But here's what I ended up getting. First was a Sega CD game, a console I never pick up games for. I don't know why I don't pick up more games for the Sega CD. I think it's a combination of lack of nostalgia, lack of variety. Maybe it's also because I don't see them very often, and when you do, it's usually the same games or they're always in horrible condition. In this case, the game was super cheap. It's a game I didn't have. It's a decent game. It's okay. But it was also it was in good condition, and yeah, so I just decided, all right, why not? Just for a couple of bucks, I'll do that. And the game is, of course, Microcosm. It's an odd type of shmup that I don't think we really see these type of games made anymore. Essentially, what it is like an FMV background. Not surprising, because that's the Sega CD. Think of it as a movie is playing in the background, and you have like a little ship in front of it, and you're like shooting at stuff in the movie. It was okay, as I recall playing it years ago. I didn't play it since, but yeah, I wasn't going to pass on it since it was in perfect condition. It wasn't particularly expensive. It was just a couple of bucks. So there you go, brand new Sega CD game. Happy to get it. And then the other two things I got were just a couple of original Xbox games. The first one is Gauntlet Dark Legacy. This is not a particularly rare game. I do see this from time to time. It's one I've wanted, but I've always passed on it because it's usually rather expensive for the original Xbox. The original Xbox games are usually really, really cheap. Like, the most extreme example of expensive is Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. That one could be like 150 bucks. But like number 2 on the list is like $30, and that's always like where the most extreme ones end up. And this qualifies. That usually is about 30 bucks if I ever see it locally. Possibly online it's cheaper, I don't really know. I try to buy local if I can. Yeah, every time I see it I was like, I'm sure I'll get that cheaper someday. And they had it for $20, which is not like an amazing savings, but I'll take it. That's the best deal I've ever seen on it. So, Gauntlet Dark Legacy, there you go. And the last one I got is also original Xbox. I'm going to play a little guessing game here. I think maybe you guys can take it. You guys guess what you think this is going to be. It's original Xbox, obviously. Originally only came out in Japan as a big game to be like, hey, you know, this is how the Xbox is relevant to the Japanese market. We made a game just for the Japanese. And then it became popular enough that in the West, people thought like, dude, come on, bring that over. I would love to play that. So Microsoft localized it for North America in a somewhat limited run. And as far as I know, they never released it in Europe. Any guesses? Anybody? Okay. It's also an original Xbox exclusive. They possibly will remake it. There was a story about that last year, and it seems to have just faded away. If you give up, it is Phantom Dust. I never see this game. I've been looking for it for years. In all the years I've been on YouTube, I've never even seen one in person, ever. Except for one time I saw it in Canada, but it was like sealed, so it was like $80. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. Online it goes for about $24, $25 used, something like that. They wanted, I think it was $15, which again for the original Xbox is higher up, but $15 for a game I never see, and I definitely can't get that cheap online. Done deal, I picked it up. So there you go, Phantom Dust. So yeah, that's it for the pickups. Once again, thank you to Anthony for everything he did, and thank you, to World 8 Games for not only being cool enough to let me film in there, but also they had a copy of Earthbound, like in complete condition, and Anthony wanted to take a photo with it, and he asked them for permission. At first they were like, and then they changed their mind, like, yeah, go ahead, because they thought he might run out the door with it, but obviously he didn't do that. He wouldn't do that, and just that's the kind of store it is. It's cool enough to let you do things like that. Cool enough to let some dude from out of town film a video in there. So thank you to them, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all later.